What happened was we watermarked every ballot with what's called the QFS blockchain encryption code.
All right, we're all trying to figure out what's going on with the election. I've given you my analysis on it. And just for it's 10:30. The date is 11/5, November 5th. The news I just heard from Dr. Steve Pieczenick is staggering. They have caught, all right? This guy's got a good track record, all right? They have caught the Democrats, or better described as, the anti-American Chinese, enemy of our country, the intelligence enemy, that's just like constantly undermining our republic. They have caught them in an election fraud so massive that I don't know if this video is going to last. I mean, this is giant. They marked this must have been done last year sometime before everything. They marked every ballot with a blockchain special encryption watermark. I assume somewhat like a QR code, but much, much more secure and, obviously much, much more complex. So every ballot basically has a serial number, and they can see what ballots have been counted and what ballots got thrown away and what ballots are fake. You heard me right. They know what ballots are real, what ballots are fake, and where all the real ballots are. I'm going to play the video. I'll play the video. I'm going to select a couple clips out of the video. I want to give a shout out to the War Room. I think they're hosted by News Wars or something. Because they're not going to copyright me for this, and I appreciate that. So, here's the clip.
This is really a sting operation, contrary to what everybody else said. Trump knew this was happening. Eric knew this was happening and warned the public. I knew this was happening. However, I could not say anything about it. What happened was we watermarked every ballot with what's called the QFS blockchain encryption code. In other words, we know pretty well where every ballot is, where it went, and who has it. So this is not a stolen election. On the contrary, we reversed the entire game of war along the lines of Sun Tzu, the art of war. And Trump was brilliant and still is brilliant at it. The reason he hasn't been seen, and Alex correctly said, I haven't seen him in several days. Well, in the art of the war, you pull back, allow your enemy to make all the mistakes that they are making, manipulate the situation, expose them, and then come in for the final killing. And that's what's happening now. None of this was unexpected. All of this was expected. All of this is part of the sting operation we're running. So this is the reverse of what you guys have been thinking. It's not a civil war. We have not been surprised in any way. This has been a setup by Trump for a long, long time. In the same way that we knew about Hillary Clinton, I warned about the coup that we would do a counter coup, and this is our counter coup again against the Bidens. And that's exactly what we expected. The corruption in the mail, the corruption of USPS, corruption with the Democrats, everywhere and anywhere. There was no surprise here. And that's why we deployed National Guard soldiers to 12 different states. Nothing was said about it.
Steve, you've just broken certainly perhaps the biggest news since the election here on this show. I have to play this out logically in my head. I mean, are arrests inevitably coming down the road?
Yeah. They're coming not just down the road, they're being implemented. What you saw Corey Wendowski and Pam Biondi saying when they were in Clay County and as well in Philadelphia, that was not just a threat. That was exactly what's going to happen. People will be arrested as of tonight, tomorrow, and it will go on for quite a while. And this was a total sting operation, that I can say.
So how is this watermark on the ballots? What is the significance of that as to, is it going to stop from fake ballots being counted, or how is that going to be used?
Well, we use it in any way that we need to use it in terms of counting, knowing which ones were fake, which ones were not. It's a very sophisticated code. So if you just throw them away, these are cyber communication implementations that we have the code for. We know exactly what was thrown away. We know exactly what was placed. We know exactly who has it, and we know exactly where it went. I can't go any further than that.
All right, let me give you some bio on Steve, on Dr. Steve Pieczenick. Who went to Cornell University, trained in psychiatry at Harvard, and is both an MD from Cornell University Medical College and a PhD in international relations from MIT. First psychiatrist ever to receive a PhD focusing on international relations. He served 4 presidents as Deputy Assistant Secretary of State under Nixon, Ford, Carter, and Bush Sr., and was a senior policy planner under President Reagan. He helped form Delta Force and Quick Strike and other Quick Strike Special Forces units that could be used in future hostile situations and international crises. He resigned over President Carter's handling of the Iran hostage siege. Recruited by Dr. Richard Solomon to the RAND Corporation to develop a strategy and tactics using principles of psychological warfare to dismantle the Soviet Union without the use of military force. That's only a piece of his bio. It's really long. This guy has been around the block, and I've heard things from him before, and he has a good track record. He doesn't make stuff up. It's almost unbelievable, but this guy has such a good track record that you can guarantee there's a watermark on the ballots. You can guarantee that they're serialized with a blockchain, watermark or whatever the hell. It's game over. It's game over. Wow. All right, guys. Well, you probably heard it here first. So subscribe to the channel. I'm always on top of this stuff. Subscribe to the briefing. Subscribe to Truth Be Told. If you're on Rumble, go subscribe there as well, because stuff just doesn't get banned off there. And, if it gets banned on YouTube, that's where it's going to be. All right, guys. This is the best news. This is the best news in 4 days. This is Lars signing off. Peace.
I have sworn upon the altar of God eternal hostility against every form of tyranny over the mind of man. Thomas Jefferson. If you are receiving this transmission, you are the resistance.